Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's ceremony. I am Techno Sergeant James Markham, and I will be your MC for today's ceremony. In recognition of Techno Sergeant Jason M. Torche retirement, in keeping with one of the oldest traditions in military service, the men and women of the United States Air Force pay special tribute to Techno Sergeant Jason M. Torche, who is closing out an honorable career with 20 years, 7 months, and 11 days of dedicated service to his country in the United States Air Force. Throughout the ceremony, you will be given cues to stand and be seated at the appropriate times. As a reminder, during the playing of the national anthem, military members should stand at attention, and it is encouraged that civilians place their right hand over their heart. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is the commander of the 65th Air Base Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Christina K. Globe. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We are honored to have in attendance today Techno Sergeant Jason Torche's wife, Carla, and their children, Maggie and Leonidas. Also here today is Sergeant Torche's aunt, Senora Filomena Ganso. Additionally, here today to join us on Lajes Field's live stream is his father, Jude Torche, and his mother, Pauline Torche. Last, but certainly not least, we'd like to welcome the 65th Air Base Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Christina K. Globe. Senior Enlisted Leader, Senior Master Sergeant Gerald D. Williams. We would also like to welcome the 65th Air Base Group First Sergeant, Senior Master Sergeant Howard. And like to welcome all supervisors, friends, members of the Lajes Field Air Base team, and around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me with great pleasure to introduce our presiding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Christina K. Globe.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We're gathered here today to honor and celebrate the distinguished career of Tech Sergeant Jason Torche as he embarks on his well-deserved retirement. Retirement is a significant milestone, marking the end of a distinguished chapter of service and the beginning of a new and exciting adventure. It's an opportunity to reflect on a career of service and anticipate the possibilities that lie ahead. I've had the privilege of knowing Tech Sergeant Torche for just 6 months, And while I may not have worked with him directly for years, I'm impressed by his unwavering dedication to the mission, his sharp intellect, his high work ethic, and his reputation as a reliable base defense professional within the security forces community. I've also had the privilege of knowing Mrs. Carla Torche, who has supported our squadron as the key support liaison, so I'll extend a special welcome to her as well. I'd also like to welcome TSgt Torche's family and friends, his kids Maggie and Leonidas, hello, her aunt, Senora Filomena Gancho, his parents, Judd and Pauline Torche, able to watch via live stream, and his children, Hatley and Claudia, also able to participate via the recording. Your support has been instrumental as a family in his success and sacrifices throughout his military career. Thank you. TSgt Torche has served our nation with honor and distinction for over 20 years. His journey began in June 2005 and has taken him around the world to Japan, the United Kingdom, the Azores, of course, and Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, now JBSA. His dedication to the Defender mission has also been selfless, as he is deployed to Iraq, providing security for 6,500 detainees, Qatar, maintaining Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom's largest base intrusion detection and surveillance system, and Kuwait, providing security for 9,900 coalition aircraft sorties. Throughout his career, he's held a variety of critical roles, including, first, NCOIC of Reports and Analysis, where he led his team to superior team recognition for a UEI and a group team of the quarter for driving Air Defense Working Group CONOPS and eliminating airspace vulnerabilities at RAF Croughton in the UK, ultimately earning him his squadron's Flight Level NCO of the Year award for 2021. Second, as Response Force Leader and NCOIC of Industrial Security at Kadena Air Base in Okinawa, Japan, he partnered with OSI to facilitate successful drug-related investigations, processed 2 DUIs, was the initial responder to 2 drunk and disorderly assault incidents where he successfully subdued volatile personnel, and was first on scene to 12 medical emergencies, securing the area and ensuring access for medical responders. Through it all, his skill to handle complex situations ensured the safety of 24,000 base personnel and 101 Protection Level 2 and 3 assets on a key Indo-PACOM joint base supporting SecDef's #1 priority. During his time here at Lajes as Anti-Terrorism Protection Program Manager, TSgt Torche was instrumental in developing our Random Anti-Terrorism Measure Program, an active shooter exercise, and advising group battle staff on how to effectively transition the base to an increased force protection condition while working around NATO partner constraints. He led S5 in 16 programs, including investigations while we had three of them active, and oversaw digital intrusion detection system upgrades, which reduced alarm failure rates by 70%, all while graduating cum laude with a BS in criminal and social justice. TSgt Torche is a person of unwavering dedication. He always goes above and beyond to ensure the mission is accomplished, no matter how long it means sitting in the Sipper Cafe, working on anti-terrorism and force protection taskers, threat working group update slides, thankless security management duties, or explaining local criticality ranking formulas to his new non-security forces commander. TSgt Torche truly embodies the security forces motto of Defensor Fortis, always standing strong in defense of our base and our people. He's a true defender in every sense of the word, courageous, dedicated, and committed to the safety of others. When I asked him his favorite part of being a defender, he said it was the camaraderie. He said this is characterized by his adoption of the less official motto, embrace the suck. And all kidding aside, he exemplifies team spirit and willingness to take on uncomfortable and dangerous jobs so that others can be safe. TSgt Torche, on behalf of the entire 65th Air Base Group, and really the United States Air Force, I want to express deepest gratitude for your years of dedicated service to our nation. Your contributions have had a lasting impact on our shared mission and the lives of countless airmen. You've made a real difference. As you embark on this new journey, let us all strive to emulate your continued commitment to service and protection of the communities we love. I know you will always be a part of the Security Forces family and the Lajes family. Your experience and insight will always be valued. I know you will also be an invaluable asset to anti-terrorism, intelligence, or emergency response coordination missions, no matter which job you take. We wish you all the best in your retirement and beyond. May this next chapter be filled with happiness, health, and new adventures. We hope you enjoy hunting and fishing on your 19 acres of land, spending more time with your family, and enjoying finally living in a location where Amazon Prime can deliver in one day with no shipping delay. Congratulations, Sergeant Torche. We thank you for your service and wish you a long and happy retirement.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Globe. Techno Sergeant Torche. Please join Lieutenant Colonel Globe on the stage for the medal and pin presentation.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. This is to certify that the Air and Space Force Commendation Medal, third only closer, has been awarded to Techno Sergeant Jason M. Torche for outstanding achievement, 30 May 2023 to 31 January 2026. Techno Sergeant Jason M. Torche distinguished himself by mandatory service as an anti-terrorism program manager, 65th Air Base Squadron, 65th Air Base Group, 86th Airlift Wing, Lajes Field, Azores, Portugal. During this period, Sergeant Torche filled a Master Sergeant role for 90 days. He managed a 5-year munitions forecast, ensuring mission readiness for 49 defenders. Additionally, he spearheaded security parameters for Lock Shield exercise, enhancing cyber defense collaboration and interoperability with 6 NATO partners, bolstering international security. Moreover, Sergeant Torche synchronized with 7 agencies, implementing 11 Department of Defense standards, resolving a 4-year critical deficiency, safeguarding $3.5 billion in assets. His vigilance exposed 2 foreign intelligence attempts to the Office of Special Investigations, prompting a security doctrine shift for Portuguese Air Force bases. Finally, Sergeant Torche vulnerability assessment secured $1.6 million for essential security upgrades, including enhanced fencing, a modern closed-circuit television system, and an updated joint defense agreement. The distinctive accomplishment of Sergeant Torche culminate in a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Special Order Number Alpha Charlie 005101, Techno Sergeant Jason Torche, effective 31 January 2026. You are relieved from active duty, 65th Air Base Squadron, Lajes Field Air Base, Portugal. Retired effective 01 February 2026. Per Air Force Instruction 36-3203 and the grade of Techno Sergeant by the order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Techno Sergeant Torche will now be presented with a certificate of retirement on behalf of the Air Force Chief of Staff. Yep, sorry. And their certificate reads as follows. Certificate of retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America to all who shall see these presents. Greeting. This is to certify that Techno Sergeant Jason Torche, having served faithfully, honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the first day, February 2026. Signed, David W. Alvin, General, United States Air Force Chief of Staff. Techno Sergeant Torche would now be presented the Certificate of Appreciation on behalf of the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Their certificate reads as follows. Certificate of Appreciation. I am proud to join your friends and family in congratulating you on your retirement from the United States Air Force. Technical Sergeant Jason Torche, the achievements and contributions you have made throughout your career are indicative of the core values of your great service. Your retirement is well deserved, but your selfless contributions will sorely be missed. On our behalf of all airmen, thank you for your faithful and devoted service to our nation. As this chapter in your life closes, a new one begins. I hope the years ahead are filled with more great memories and continued success. Given on the first day of February 2026, signed, David A. Flossie, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Now, we'd like to invite Technical Sergeant Torche's wife, Carla, and their children to come forward to assist with our next presentation. It's a small but meaningful item, the retirement pin. If there's one word that describes what this pin represents, that word might be sacrifice. This is what Technical Sergeant Torche's family know all too well. You have served your country well. Now it's time to make up those lost special moments with your family. Who more appropriate to do the honors? Carla, please pin your husband. At this time, I'd like to ask Carla to remain on the stage. Carla has been recognized for her significant contribution and sacrifices to the Air Force by supporting and encouraging her husband throughout his career. Lieutenant Colonel Globe will now present Carla with a certificate of appreciation. The certificate reads of appreciation from the United States Air Force. In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Mrs. Carla P. Torche for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service. Given this first day of February 2026, signed, David W. Olivan, General, United States Air Force Chief of Staff. Mrs. Torche will now be presented with her certificate of appreciation on behalf of the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. The certificate reads, Certificate of Appreciation from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force on behalf of all Air Force airmen and their families. The Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force presents this certificate of appreciation to Mrs. Carla P. Torche. I join your spouse and family and friends in thanking you for the numerous contributions and sacrifices you made in support of our United States Air Force. Your dedication gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service in defense of our nation. Signed, David A. Flossie, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Put it on her. Put it on her. Okay, that's fine. We would also like to recognize his children who have sacrificed as many moves along Technical Sergeant Torche's Air Force journey. Maggie and Leonidas. They're on the stage. The certificate reads, Certificate of Appreciation on the occasion of the retirement of their father, TSgt Torche, from the 65th Air Base Squadron. Maggie and Leonidas have earned grateful appreciation for their devoted service, their love, support, sacrifices, and understanding you make possible their father's unwavering service and contribution to the United States Air Force. Signed, Lieutenant Colonel Christina K. Globe, Commander, 65th Air Base Squadron. When a military member retires, the most popular gift is the military shadow box. The history of the shadow box had its origin with the Navy back in the times of wooden ships. The shadow box served as a dual purpose. It served as a perpetual reminder of the sailor's accomplishments, and it held the retired sailor's shadow in check until they completely departed the ship, thereby ensuring a smooth and lucky transition into civilian life. The shadow box contains memorabilia and symbols of TSgt Torche's 20-year career in service. TSgt Torche will now be presented with the nation's flag as part of the flag ceremony.
For more than 200 years, the American flag has been a symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 blue, and that the union of the 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor. White signifies purity and innocence, and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally, a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans both home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words of the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July of 1969, the American flag was flown in space while Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellations of Air Force satellites that circle the globe and on the fin flash of the aircraft in harm's way every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every airman who serves our great nation. The sun never sets on the U.S. Air Force, nor the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's airmen remain committed to preserving that freedom that others won for us for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict, on land and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and the freedoms that we, as Americans, enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride and patriotism we feel for our country. We cherish its legacy as a beacon of hope, one and all. Long may it wave.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and distinct honor to introduce TSgt Torche, United States Air Force, retired.
Thank you. First, I'd like to give a special thanks to Sergeant Markham. He put this whole thing together on top of having to do all his normal work. So if we give him a hand for that, please. And Colonel Globe, thank you for presiding over my retirement ceremony, and I'm honored to be your first. 20 years. Standing here now, it feels kind of like it just happened, like all the time has just flown by. At the same time, it has felt like it took 20 years to get here. But I couldn't have done it without my family. Thank you to my beautiful wife, Carla, my children, Leonidas, Maggie, Claudia, and Hadley, if you're watching. It's been a long time coming. I just remember all of the things and people I've met, experienced, and I wouldn't change anything. I've met lots of great friends, great leaders. I've met my fair share of bad leaders too, but that comes with the territory. That's how you grow and learn as a person. And hopefully going on into my next chapter, I'll be just as successful as I was in the Air Force. So my defenders, we know how it is. Everything, like, we just know, right? It's just the defender lifestyle that nobody else gets but us. Sometimes it's a thankless job, actually most times. And then a lot of time when we meet people, it's on their worst day and we have to deal with them. But we take it in stride. So thank you for serving with me. It's been an honor. And thank you everyone for coming. And that's all I got.
You can go ahead and give another round of applause to Sergeant Torche's family as well. This concludes today's ceremony. The men and women of the United States Air Force are proud to have served alongside TSgt Torche and wish him success in his future endeavors. Now, let's go have some cake.